I just go. I just put things out there. I try not to edit myself. I try to flow and just come off the top of the dome. And then when people make suggestions, my initial reaction is rebellion. I don't like to be told what to do. And maybe that's not their intention. Maybe they are just giving suggestions. But I recover my way. And I respect all the different ways. And I am open to exploring new ways of recovery. Yeah. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm being vulnerable and raw and courageous, full of mistakes, full of human foibles. Great word, right? Foibles. Because my intention is just to give back to the community that's given me so much. You know, I've learned so much from 12-step. I've learned so much from Smart Recovery. I've learned from CBT. I've learned from DBT. I've learned from the VA. I've taken medication. I've done yoga. I've done Tai Chi. I've gone on walks. I've gone on hikes. I've watched my diet. I've tracked my weight. I've done all different kinds of things. And from each of them, I have learned. And all I want to do is share that. And I get a little flustered when, again, I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm just telling my truth at this moment. I get a little flustered when I see people kind of selling stuff. And for me, recovery is not about selling stuff. It's about giving, I call it giving the store away. Give it away, you know? Because I've found so many positive people and I'm building so many new relationships. I'm so amazed by WhatsApp. I'm just fascinated with it. For me, it takes, I don't want to, well, gosh, it complements meetings because and this is just my experience, when I'm in a meeting, there is always an element of performance, especially, well, I shouldn't say especially. I find some messages a little inauthentic, I guess. And I'm not judging them. That's just how I experience it. And I like it real. I like it raw. I like imperfections. I like to hear the heater turn on in my apartment and my dog shuffling in the background, you know. But I also appreciate all these people with these awesome podcasts and these awesome 4K cameras. That's cool too. But like I said, it's just me and my iPhone and my iPad. And I have another iPad that's like 10 years old. And I record and I go for it. And I'm just here to open a space. And my vision, my desire, my hope is that I can connect with people. And I do. When people call me or text me or leave me a voice memo on WhatsApp, it just opens up a whole new world. It's fantastic. It's the kind of communication that I don't get in meetings. It's, and again, like I said, I'm not poo-pooing meetings. Meetings make it, okay? And that definitely worked for me for a time. But when so much creativity and enlightenment and technique and strategy and natural human conversations arise on WhatsApp, it's fantastic. That's all I can say. I've met people from India and Egypt and Bangladesh and England and Australia and the Philippines and all 50 states of the United States of America. And I'm starting to see patterns of how people struggle with addiction and compulsive behavior. I'm I'm starting to see patterns in all the videos that I post in the community of how people recover, and people recover in different ways. But the patterns I see are they get to this moment of what 12 step calls a moment of clarity, and I just call it a aha moment. And Tony Robbins says a person makes a decision, and the definition of decision is to cut off any other alternative. And his expression is burn the boats. You burn the boats behind you, so you're left on the island and you have to fight. And that's how I feel about my recovery today. I've just burned the boats, and I'm not going back to gambling. I'm not going back to all these compulsive behaviors that I had. And I want to do something creative. I want to do something giving. And I recognize the patterns that I say, I want. And this is what I need. But this is the first time I've spoken up for myself. And I have a sense of glee and joy about it. And I just want to share it. And I love it when people call me and leave voice memos. My voice memos are my favorite because, texting, we can hide behind it, and posting on the blog is, people learn differently. There's different modalities, and I love to hear the texture of people's voices. But I also like the safety of, not turning on the camera because, a little bit of anonymity and mystery it works for me. I don't know. I don't need to. Maybe it's because I have vision impairment and I don't see as well as I used to, and I'm more focused on what I hear and what I feel through hearing, and it's amazing. So thank you for letting me share. Thank you.